Hey, Dr. Levan and everyone. This is Seth Harrelson here speaking on behalf of Group 1 of our advanced HR class here at Charleston Southern University. We were tasked with doing an HR audit of a company, and we decided to do our audit on Best Buy. It's been really cool. We've actually been able to learn a lot about Best Buy as a company and just kind of see how many changes and things that they've had to do and deal with over the past few years. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody on Group 1, starting with Arlene Crisco. She handled the overview of the organization, the mission, vision, human resources, function, diversity, and legal issues. And then Ryan Jennings, he handled the job analysis, planning, recruiting, and selection process, and he also handled the training and career development as well as performance appraisals. And then Dr. Fish handled compensation systems and security along with employee relations. And I'm Seth Harrelson again. I handled the video editing and just putting the PowerPoint and just kind of putting everything together for us, and the summary and evaluation of Best Buy. So without further ado, I'll let Arlene take over and tell us about the overview of the organization.
Hello, Dr. Levan and team. Arlene Crisco here. I'll be stepping through the first couple of sections around our HR audit in relation to the company that we chose, Best Buy. Best Buy is a multinational retailer of electronic products at retail stores, at call centers, and it has a heavy online presence. The company reported $39.4 million in revenues for the end of its fiscal year January 2017. Best Buy has a footprint primarily within North America. It did make attempts to expand internationally into China and into the European market. In both instances, they failed for a couple of main reasons. One, in that their business model for North America did not translate well to China and to Europe. And also there was some differences in the culture and the way that individuals shopped around electronics in those different countries. So as a result, Best Buy exited the China market in 2011 and the European market in 2013. They then refocused their energy on their North America market, where they have approximately 137,000 employees. 125,000 of those employees roll under Ms. Cami Scarlett, who is the Chief Human Resource Officer for the United States and Mexico. There's also Chris Taylor, who is in Canada, where he has about 12,000 employees that roll under him. For the workplace environment at Best Buy from 2005 to about 2013, they operated under a results-only work environment, or a ROW environment. And that's where the company primarily focused on just getting it done. It didn't matter where you worked or what your hours were, as long as it was results oriented and the work got done. And this was primarily for the corporate office individuals. However, when Herbert Jolly came on board, he was the new CEO. He came on effective in August of 2012. He found that that particular work model was counterproductive. He believed in having all hands on deck. So a year later, after he came into the CEO office, he discontinued that program and then shifted the organization to be more balanced, in that everybody within the stores had to be on deck, so did everybody within the corporate office. As a result, he also rolled out a couple of different programs. One was Renew Blue, and this particular program rolled out about a year after he came into being the CEO as well. In that, he wanted to ensure that, again, all hands were on deck, and making sure that there was a greater focus on customer service, particularly not only in the stores, but also in the corporate office. His change into renewing the way that the corporation thought about itself and functioned allowed the company to then triple its stock in 2013, with the focus on banking on the big box stores, which they were, superior customer service, product selection, and services like the Geek Squad. Looking forward, the organization Best Buy 2020, the organization wanted to now invest even greater in its people and its technology. That is their focus for CEO Jolly, as he wants to ensure that the organization remember that it's in business to serve the customers. There are other areas of focus for Best Buy in that it has intense competition from other big box retailers such as Walmart and Target. And of course, there is the mammoth Amazon. CEO Jolly is not discouraged, and he emphasizes customer service, price matching, and the interaction with customers and products in the stores that allows Best Buy to remain competitive against others. There's also opportunities for Best Buy to grow its international footprint. And this would, of course, require them to make some enhancements to their business model and have greater attention to the local cultures to allow them to have a greater diverse customer base. Thank you so much for listening to these couple of sections.
Hi, my name is Ryan Jennings. I'm in Group 1, and my sections of this project were the analysis, planning, recruitment, training, and career development portions. So Best Buy employs HR planning strategies that focus on both the short and long-term HR needs. And back in 2001, they discovered that there was low employee morale, increased number of people that were quitting, and filling out surveys basically telling the company that they were super stressed out. Now, the problem found itself on the desk of Callie Ressler, who was an HR employee in charge of HR and the work-life balance program. So from 2005 to 2013, they implemented a results-only work program called the ROW program, which offered an alternate work schedule to employees where they could work from home anytime they felt like it without having to provide a reason or excuse. And they could also take off as much as employees with no limit to annual leave. When this program was aimed at having employees feel like they had more control over their lives, offering a more ideal work-life balance. Now, the problem with this was, even though that they understood that they needed to make a change in their HR strategy, they failed to implement a proper training program to go along with this, which led to the program being abolished in 2013. And in addition to that, there was a lot of miscommunication because the employees were everywhere, and there wasn't a whole lot of collaboration between teams, if at all. So the CEO, Hubert Joly, decided to end the program and implement a new system called Renew Blue, which was aimed at saving the company more money. They were aimed at saving the company $750 million just through different areas of focus, merchandising and marketing, using Geek Squad as the main vessel to increasing profits for the company, increasing online sales, and improving the supply chain. Since the ROW program has been abolished, they do not have flexible work schedules anymore. And if you do telework, you need to have manager permission. So around 2013 is the height of Amazon, and it's when online retailers became the new trend in buying. So the strategy of Best Buy had to change, where customers started going to brick and mortar stores, taking pictures and writing down things, and then going to find them for cheaper online. So Best Buy had to figure out a way to combat this by closing their big box stores, their main stores, closing a number of those, and opening standalone stores more focused on the Geek Squad and mobile sales, called the Best Buy mobile stores. In 2014, just because eBay and online retailers like Amazon were eating into the profits, Best Buy actually had to get rid of 400 Geek Squad jobs. Through their strategy, also figuring out how to combat this, they decided to match competitors on price. So if somebody found price of something on Amazon, then a customer could bring it into the store, and using the expert level service that Best Buy offered, they were actually able to prevent a significant fall in sales. In addition to advertising job announcements through recruiting sites like Monster and Indeed, Best Buy actually use an aggressive recruiting strategy where they continuously reach out to customers and to become employees while they shop. While in stores, they can pick up applications, they can apply at kiosks, or actually go up to a manager and ask them for an interview or schedule an interview. But generally speaking, Best Buy, they determine staffing needs for all their stores based on size, volume, and the sales, using quantitative methods to develop estimates just based on data, and then using that data to craft business decisions to improve their functions. The training and development is also a continuous process for them. With the Renew Blue program, they also implemented an increase of training, which did cost more, but going back to the online retailers like Amazon, they decided that it would be worth it to spend more money to ensure that their employees were well-trained experts in their respective area, where they could provide expert service and pass on knowledge to customers that they wouldn't be able to get online, just reading a website. And in order to sustain this business performance, they implemented a number of training and development programs. One is called the Learning Lounge, which is essentially it's Best Buy's own personal intranet where employees can go on and they can complete modules internally, whether at work or at home, anytime they want, which is supposed to improve their product knowledge, customer service knowledge, and the good thing about it is the flexibility of the learning. They can do it at home, at work, wherever they want, and they're always compensated for their time. There's also a Path to Excellence program where the goal is to link employees' learning paths with their career paths. And in this program, employees, they earn pins and other awards to show off their attainments. They earn points after they finish the different modules on the Learning Lounge, and so the employees are lauded for applying what they've learned also when their supervisors observe them, exhibiting crucial skills and behaviors learned in training. And they can also earn points by hearing their supervisors listen to them or observe them giving expert advice or product knowledge to customers. Now, the performance appraisal process at Best Buy is based on a 360-degree feedback system where they're rated excellent, good, low performance, or unacceptable. In this program at Best Buy, the performance appraisals are actually done by their supervisor. They're done from their peers. You never know when they're going to be. They're periodic. The performance appraisals they're offered based on a couple of different viewpoints: product knowledge, communication skills, teamwork, collaboration, and customer focus. It's aimed to identify your strengths and weaknesses and help you grow from there.
Hello everyone, I'm Jackie Fish. My responsibility is Section 5, Implementing Compensation Systems and Security. And the first question that we were looking to answer was, how are wage and salary levels and annual improvements determined? Well, Best Buy, being one of the largest public retailers of electronics, of course, is guided by stockholders as well as a CEO and a strategic plan. That strategic plan, of course, is developed by the high-level directors of the Best Buy Corporation in Minneapolis. But remember that they must set goals that are reasonable and that they don't drive stock prices up or down. So it's difficult to determine just how much input stockholders actually have as based on financial analysis and what the public is really into at the time. So stockholders do not have specific controls over things in the strategic plan, but they do agree on the performance levels based on the goals and objectives of that strategic plan. Best Buy does conduct periodic internal and external wage surveys. They use consulting firms and they work within the parameters of the growth plan for the corporation. They compete in traditional storefronts and online for customers, and if the wages they pay are not competitive, then the employees are simply not going to stay there. Most of their employees in their stores and in their warehouses are high school and college kids, and you just can't buy loyalty at that age. So if the wages that they're paying help these employees to meet the daily, weekly, and monthly store goals, then the salaries are ruled to be competitive with other like positions in the area. Of course, this depends on where your store is located and what the economic situation is in that store. And also, it's to remind you that 70% of the American population live within 15 minutes of a Best Buy store. So they have a very long reach in terms of seeking employees to work for hourly wages. Hourly wages for store employees in this area seem to be about $10 to $10.50 an hour. Store managers' salaries, of course, are fixed and not hourly wages, and they range from $68,000 to $105,000 depending on the sales volume and where they're at in the country. Differentials in salary grades do appropriately reflect the differentials in skills and responsibilities. Remember, when you walk into a Best Buy store, you're going to see many different types of employees wearing blue shirts, wearing white shirts, wearing badges. Those are Geek Squad agents, and they are computer experts, and they are electronics experts, and they're brand new employees. You really can't tell the brand new employees apart because all kids are so invested in the electronics and the technology, and the best incentive for these young kids are the Best Buy discounts that they get on purchases. Geek Squad members are paid on the level of their expertise and the number of items that they are trained to replace or repair. Store employees are continuously encouraged to complete training modules on various aspects of the thousands of products that Best Buy sells. Employees who successfully complete these trainings receive recognition and incremental salary increases for continually completing the training modules. There are thousands and thousands of training modules completed each year by Best Buy employees. There are many different levels of salaried and hourly workers at Best Buy. The salary schedule reflects the differences in the skills and abilities of the people who are your car sound and equipment installers, to the cashiers, to the person who helps you with your computer. And how do these salary levels compare with those of other organizations of similar group and experience? We have to remember that Best Buy is the nation's leader in electronic sales. They've driven a number of companies out of business. It's not difficult to compare hourly wages with those of other similar retail stores. However, compensation for mid-level managers seems to be sufficient. There's not as much turnover at this level, so it would appear that their balance of work, supervision, and the other responsibilities of the mid-level managers is palatable for the mid-range salary of between $45,000 and $70,000, again, based on your time with the company and your level of expertise, as well as where you're physically located in the United States. The strategic plan does indeed allow the corporate leaders to stimulate interest in not only the economy, but the employees as well as the leaders of the organization. The Best Buy in general just complies with federal minimum wage increases, but the very successful employees do receive incremental pay raises, hourly wages, as well as some bonus pay. Executive bonus pay was not determined. We assume it, of course, is guaranteed by contracts when the performance levels are met. Apparently and hopefully everyone is judged individually. However, 2 high-ranking executives were just fired in July, and another cost-saving slash of employee positions, and their job responsibilities were inherited by other executives rather than those places being filled. One very strong point about being a Best Buy employee is that they do have strong non-wage fringe benefits. It includes tuition assistance, matching 501k contributions, and many types of insurance coverage, paid time off, vacation, very flexible schedules. From the responses that I read online from former and current Best Buy employees, they appear to be well appreciated, especially, as I said earlier, the employee discounts off of purchases. Every year, Best Buy awards 2,000 high school graduates who have already started working and have some service or volunteer hours in their community. They receive a $1,000 scholarship for their first semester in college. Of course, they're hoping that they will attract these young folks to come to work for Best Buy, and they invest that $1,000 in each one of them. It's a one-time award. They can't reapply for it. Geek Squad summer camps are also held in an attempt to help the communities and to open up the digital age and digital access to students and children who may not have access to the internet or to computers or electronic devices. Many of Best Buy's non-wage fringe benefits are, of course, determined by the profitability of the corporation. It's not an average company. Best Buy, again, is one of the largest retailers in the United States. Their profitability is not measured just by dollars in the stores or even online. The company has those stockholders who invested and they're seeking the best return on their money. The stockholders can attend 2 meetings each year where the full reports are provided. And based on the outcome of the votes, corporate leaders are compelled to enact changes or respond to the challenges that are outcomes of the stockholder meetings. Best Buy does indeed provide for family leave. They comply with the FMLA policy. They do allow for time off. They do not allow for telecommuting anymore. They did try that at one time, but it was slashed when thousands of jobs were slashed back in 2013 and 2015. In regards to disaster preparedness planning, here's what you can find out about corporations like this. Best Buy opened a new IT headquarters in Seattle, Washington in 2016. They hired 50 engineers to staff this building, and it was promoted as the place where they're going to fix their internet problems. I'll tell you, when you make a purchase at Best Buy online, as soon as you hit the buy button, you are switched to a different cloud computing system managed by the folks in Seattle to make sure there are no glitches and that you get your equipment or your purchase as quickly as possible. However, it's also a known fact that this IT building also has the infrastructure for disaster repairing and recovering from any type of disasters for the entire functions for the entire company. Employee morale and job satisfaction. Best Buy invested in a new group of employees just this year, 2017, providing a higher level of training and better salaries. These select employees comprise a new customer service element, and they travel to the customer's home to provide expert advice. For instance, if you are building a new home and you want a kitchen layout, or if you're remodeling and want kitchen advice on your appliances, how to turn your house into techie heaven, and of course, let's not forget about home theater, the total home theater experience. Initially, they selected 250 employees for this program on a pilot basis. However, it's been so successful that they've already now selected 1,000 people for this position. And the strategy does appear to be paying off with larger purchases, a better return rate on customers who close the deal. These highly motivated in-home sales experts are showing enthusiasm about their job, and the program does appear to be successful for increasing sales. So this is one way that Best Buy has rewarded its employees and to raise that employee morale and job satisfaction is by recognizing those who have other strengths other than just working the floor, perhaps customer service strengths, networking strengths, and making the deal. Retirement pensions, what the information I could find out is that of course, the employees are all entitled to contribute to a 401k, and with some matching funds from Best Buy. With these thousands of people, they work in the stores either as part-time or full-time, and they're allowed to participate in this matching 401k plan. There's no specific information regarding corporate employees or store managers or the executive level. Employee grievances are handled about the same as in any organization. You're encouraged to go to your immediate supervisor if there's a problem. However, if the problem is with that immediate supervisor, you are encouraged to go on up the line until you find someone you can talk with who will sit down and listen to you and try to resolve the issue, whether it's through mediation or taking appropriate action. There are also folks in the store, the Best Buy security people, who, if you are concerned about fraud or theft, you can talk to the security people and they'll protect your identification so that no one else finds out that you're the one that's spilling the beans, so to speak. There are also HR personnel for higher level consultations available. In terms of employee discipline problems, they're typical for a store that manages high school and college kids. Yes, you have those problems, and yes, they are resolved or you're fired. They just don't have to invest that much time and effort. People learn to get along, and they realize that if they're working together well, they're having a successful store relationship, and they have daily, weekly, and monthly goals. And if they're all getting along and working well, then they all have the opportunity to get those bonuses. Local police records indicate there were not a large number of issues with employee or customer violence at our local Best Buy stores. Almost no arrests were reported for controlled substance violations, but you must remember that Best Buy is not responsible for what goes on out in its parking lots after they close at night. And those drug violations soared, especially in North Charleston.
So, how effectively is the human resource function of this organization contributing to the fulfillment of its mission, objectives, and strategic plan? Well, Best Buy's mission is to profit and grow as a team, providing our customers exceptional value and a great shopping experience. And as you can see from our presentation from my team members, that's what Best Buy has really been working towards, and they've really been working towards their mission, and I think they've definitely been able to achieve that. And in terms of sales and company growth, Best Buy's employees are creating the environment where providing exceptional value and great shopping experiences are leading to profitability. I believe both the management and the hourly employees are working well to meet that mission. In this September 2017 statement from CEO Hubert Jolly, I think there's some additional proof strategies of the Best Buy 2020 Building the New Blue plan are working. He said revenue is expected to grow to $43 billion in fiscal 2021 versus $39.4 billion in fiscal 2017. Meanwhile, the company will look to realize $600 million in annual cost savings by the end of fiscal 2021. As a result, Best Buy estimates its adjusted operating income in fiscal 2021 will be between $1.9 billion to $2 billion versus $1.7 billion in fiscal 2017. And remember that Best Buy stock this year has increased from $35 a share to a range of about $55 to $60 per share this quarter. And just some problems human resource management that have been adequately solved or now in the process of being solved by the organization would definitely be the realignment of job responsibilities. There are now fewer high-level executives. They've cut some positions and let other executives take over the job responsibilities to reduce costs in the company. A major human resource problem that remains to be confronted and solved at Best Buy is the retaining of well-trained employees. They need to retain these employees in order to groom them into management positions. Once the employees have completed several training courses, they become more attractive to competitors as well as small businesses with an entrepreneurial spirit. So they've just got to devise a well-planned and long-term professional growth plan that's designed to retain the truly valuable sales team members. As you can see, Best Buy has gone through some really difficult changes in recent years, but they've done a great job of rolling with the punches and developing and following a plan for success. They were able to stop doing what was not working, and they were able to implement plans that they believed would work and have worked. They have faced serious competition from online competitors, but have found a way to still be successful. And you can see in their stock price, it's up 50% in the past year, and programs like Renew Blue have truly helped Best Buy improve as a company. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening. We really enjoyed learning about Best Buy, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you so much.